this video, we will get to know the rise and fall of the Kanem-Bornu Empire. This trade-focused empire encompassed various regions that are now part of modern-day Chad, northern Cameroon, northeastern Nigeria, eastern Niger, and southern Libya. We will explore the merger of the Kanem Empire and the Borno kingdoms, which resulted in one of the longest-lasting African empires, spanning from the 9th to the 19th centuries. At its peak, the Kanem-Bornu Empire rivaled other major empires like the Ottoman, Songhai, and Morocco. Here's a timeline of the topics we will cover. If you enjoy our channel and the content we provide, please don't forget to like our videos. The Kanem Empire is believed to have originated around 800 CE in the northeastern region of Lake Chad. It was situated at the southern end of the trans-Saharan trade route between Tripoli and the Lake Chad region, and its control over this route played a significant role in its development. Around 1086 CE, Kanem began its process of Islamization, although many people resisted and continued to favor traditional beliefs and practices. Kanem's rulers frequently traveled throughout the kingdom, particularly towards Bornu, located west of Lake Chad. Both herders and farmers recognized the authority of the Bornu government and showed their allegiance by paying tribute. However, by the late 14th century, internal conflicts and external attacks had weakened and divided Kanem. Between 1376 and 1400, there were 6 rulers, but the Bulala invaders from the area around Lake Fitri to the east killed 5 of them. This led to a proliferation of claimants to the throne and a series of internal wars. Eventually, around 1396, the Bulala forced the Kanem king to abandon the city of Njimi and relocate the Kanembu people to Bornu, on the western edge of Lake Chad. During this period, the Saifawa dynasty rose to prominence and exerted its dominance over the political system. They gained control over both capital cities of the Kanem and Bornu empires, consolidating their power and becoming stronger than ever before. While the two states were effectively merged, the political authority mainly resided in the Bornu region. In Bornu, the royal title was Mai Aligaji from 1472 to 1504, led the expansion of the Bornu Empire to the west, culminating in the conquest of the Hausa state of Kano. He also expanded northward and solidified Bornu's control over the trade routes to the Fezzan. He successfully defeated the Bulala and reclaimed Njimi, the former capital. Mai Aligaji was married to a Bulala woman. Kanuri and Bulala did not get along. Aligaji's marriage was arranged in an attempt to mend this long-standing rivalry between the two groups. On the night that Aligaji's wife was giving birth to their child, a Marabout knocked on the king's door. The magic man gave a prophecy to the king, stating that even though his newborn was a son, the king would soon die and be replaced by a woman. Aligaji trusted his Marabout and, in order to keep his newborn son safe, the king decided to exile baby Idris and his mother back to Bulala-controlled territory, far from the Kanuri court. Idris Aluma would begin his life hidden across the Lake Chad River, where he would have a better chance of survival than at the Borno royal palace. Idris's mother, who was a Bulala, agreed to send off her son to live with the safety of her Bulala relatives. The Bulala are believed to be descendants of the main ethnic groups of the Sultanate of Yao and first appeared in the 14th century as a nomadic clan. The Bulala's culture is characterized by their sedentary lifestyle with a focus on agriculture and trade, particularly with Egypt. Following the death of Ali Gaji, Dunama VI, a relative of Ali, assumed the throne. However, Dunama's reign was marked by a sinister act as he posed a threat to the lives of the sons of previous kings. Before long, Dunama himself met an untimely demise. Historical records indicate that he was killed, leading to the succession of Abdullah III. Unfortunately, Abdullah's reign was short-lived, and he was believed to be the last male heir of the Saifawa dynasty. Thus, Aisa Koli, the young daughter of Mai Ali Gaji and elder sister of the exiled Idris Aluma, was declared the new queen of the Bornu Empire. Her reign was marked by wisdom, effective governance, and diplomatic strategies that brought prosperity to the region. The empire was ruled by the aristocracy through a highly structured political system. To prevent wars of succession, the Kiroma, usually the eldest son or brother of the Mai, was designated during the lifetime of the Mai. Members of the royal family also held important offices, such as the Majira and the first wife of the Mai, the Gumsu, who was responsible for palace duties. A council of around 12 members, including descendants of close advisors, also held political power. The Mai had Islamic advisors, and the Kaigama was in charge of the armies. The empire was organized territorially and divided into different administrative regions, each with its own administrative structure. The core of Bornu had a double fief system, enabling the empire to control its sedentary population and incorporate nomadic or semi-nomadic subjects. Isakoli Ngirmarama, also known as Isakili, she held the unique distinction of being the only female leader and queen among those rulers. When Isakoli's reign began, her half-brother Idris was only 5 years old. When Idris turned 12, he wrote to his mother and sister to inform them of his existence and survival. Aisa acted as a regent and trained Idris Aluma in the duties of Islam and kingship until he was old enough to ascend the throne. To protect him from the intrigues and vices of the court, she raised him in the new and beautiful Gambaru Palace, which was built at a safe distance from Gazagarmu. The Bornu polity had a fixed 7-year term for rulers. So when Queen Isa's term was nearing its end, she contacted her brother and asked him to return home. After Queen Isakoli's 7 years of rule, Idris Aluma was crowned king. Isakoli continued to support her brother by advising him on government procedures and the ways of their empire and subjects. While Arabic historians did not document her rule, it is worth noting that they often disregarded female rulers. However, Queen Isakoli's legacy is preserved in local African tradition alongside her male counterparts. Aluma was the son of a Kanuri father and a Bulala mother. He was a king who united the biggest rivalry in the kingdom. Like other dynamic politicians, Aluma's reformist goals led him to seek loyal and competent advisors and allies. He frequently relied on selected individuals who had been educated in noble homes. He is remembered for his military skills, administrative reforms, and the example he provided of Islamic piety. His main adversaries were the Hausa to the west, the Tuareg and Tubu to the north, and the Bulala to the east. His military innovations included the use of walled fortifications and military camps, permanent siege warfare, scorched earth tactics, and the effective use of cavalry. Aluma is also noted for his inclusion of Berber camelry and Kotoko boatmen as part of his military forces. He fostered diplomatic relations with Tripoli, Egypt, and the Ottoman Empire. Under Aluma's rule, Kanem-Bornu was strong and wealthy, thanks to the revenue demanded from conquered territories. Aluma took a keen interest in trade and other economic matters. He is credited with clearing the roads, designing better boats for Lake Chad, introducing standard units of measure for grain, and moving farmers into new lands. King Idris Aluma improved the ease and security of transit through the empire, with the goal of making it so safe that a lone woman clad in gold might walk with none to fear but God. During the reign of Mai Idris Aluma, Bornu experienced its peak, expanding its territory and gaining control over Hausaland, Ahir, and Tuareg. A pact of non-aggression was established with Bulala, with clearly defined boundaries. Military strategies included the use of mounted Turkish musketeers, cavalrymen in mail, foot soldiers, and impressive feats of military engineering, as demonstrated during the siege of Amsaka. The Bornu army was well organized, employing advance guards and rear reserves, often relying on shield wall tactics. They were transported via camels or large boats and provided with food prepared by women cooks. To ensure conquest, a scorched earth policy was used when necessary against fortified towns and strongholds. Trade routes to the north were secured, making it possible for diplomatic relations to be established with the Pasha of Tripoli and the Turkish Empire. Between 1574 and 1583, the Borno Mai maintained relations with Ottoman Sultan Murad III and Moroccan Sultan Ahmad al-Mansur amidst political tensions in the Sahara. In opposition to Ottoman imperialism in the Sahara, the Borno king allied with the Moroccan Sultan. The fall of the Kanem-Bornu Empire was primarily due to significant threats such as Tuareg and Tubu incursions from the north during the 18th century. These incursions gradually eroded the empire's control over desert territories and the eastern side of Lake Chad. Another major threat materialized in 1808 when Osman Dan Fodio launched a jihad to conquer Bornu and integrate it into the Sokoto Caliphate. Led predominantly by the Fulani, This invasion followed their demographic expansion in the western frontier of Bornu during the 18th century. However, the empire successfully organized its defense and emerged victorious in a military, diplomatic, and religious battle against Osman Dan Fodio, preserving the Kanem-Bornu Empire. By the early 19th century, Kanem-Bornu was visibly declining. Muhammad al-Amin al-Kanemi, a Muslim cleric, eventually defeated the rebellious Fulani and built a new capital at Kukawa in 1814. His successors ended the Saifwa dynasty and the Kanem-Bornu Empire when they killed the last Mai in 1846. The decline persisted under Umar's successors, and in 1893, Rabi az-Zubair led an invading army from eastern Sudan and conquered Bornu. Although Rabi's rule was short-lived, the state eventually became absorbed by the British-ruled entity that later became Nigeria. And thus concludes our narrative on the rise and fall of the Kanem-Bornu Empire. I hope you found this historical account informative and engaging. Feel free to share your thoughts and suggest which African empire you would like to explore next in the comments section.
Thank you
for your continued support.
For more educative videos
Take
like
care
this,
and
kindly
see you in the
subscribe
next
to
one.
our YouTube channel, like and share, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell.